Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show. We're having good morning, Miss Margaret. Good morning, Miss Love. We're having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Hope you ladies are having a good morning. You have your cup of tea. Thank you, ma'am. We have raspberry leaf tea this morning. Good morning, Miss Tammy. So that's what we have today. That's what we're drinking. Let's do the introduction and we get started. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show. We're having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch and subscribe to all the Fearless Morning shows over there. Don't forget we have the podcast on all kinds of platforms. Whether you have an Android, Apple, it doesn't matter. We're on iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. You can find the Live Past Crazy show anywhere. They don't do that. We do have 7 books that they're free to read. They don't do that. We have the movie with Mr. Tommy Ford. They don't do that. Tell them I said Grand Rising. Have the most amazing day. Have the most amazing day. So, yesterday we talked about the circle of me. And we did the wheel exercise. Did anybody do that? Like, did y'all do that for real? We talked about the wheel and we did 4 parts: mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, and shading 0 to 5, where you are in those things. I've done all the things, right, Margaret? I've done all the things. Y'all, some things I forget that I do. So thank you, Margaret. So if you did this exercise, let me know how it worked out for you. Where you draw the circle, and the circle represents you, 4 pieces: mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, and shading in 0 to 5, how you feel about each area of your life. And then choose that one thing to be the thing that you focus on. And if you would like this available to you, this is the Sister Rise workbook that we have. And every year as I go, not every year, but as I go, I'll be adding to this. Okay. So it gets deeper as we go. All right. So the circle of me yesterday, the 5 parts. Today, the fearless thought of the day, and the quote is a definition. So the thought of the day is invitation to emerge, right? The quote of the day is the definition of emerge. Move out of or away from something. Come into view, become visible. So if this is your invitation to emerge, I want you to become visible. Come into view. I need you to come into view. Become visible in whatever your next move is, to become visible in that thing. So in your invitation to emerge, we are focusing on that one thing, because Monday we started with what's a good starting point. Yesterday we looked at the wheel of life, or I'm calling it the circle of me. Absolutely, Margaret. Calibrating all the things is a challenge. Yes, it is. It is a challenge. If y'all like a mug, I did put the link up so you guys can grab you a copy, grab you a mug. So if on Monday we stood at the gate to honor ourselves, to ask for permission, Tuesday, we acknowledged that we're ready for something different. Today, we are emerging. We have the invitation to emerge, right? And this is, for those who do, the ladies that have to work with this, is page 7, your transformational change. So if I pick the one thing, whatever it is, and I want to look at it, it says, observe your stream of consciousness as you think about a stressful situation. Do not suppress any thoughts. Let them run their course while you watch them and write them down as they occur. I need you to be aware as you are emerging what is happening to you, what is immediately happening in your environment. Like, take a step away and look from the outside in, and not be from the inside thinking, I'm getting beat up. I want you to take a step from the outside. And how you do that is you get quiet. Number 1, we know the 5 keys to the past crazy. Number 1 is to be quiet. Sit somewhere quietly. And we'll talk about meditation and how to establish that quiet zone. But we know it takes 7 seconds to hold a good thought. So if you can be quiet for 7 seconds and just sit still, now we can begin the journey of transformational change, right? So I want you to think about that one thing that causes you stress today, whatever it is, and look at it from the outside in. So you're standing out and you're looking at this problem. Now that you're not in that problem, how would you solve that problem? What are the thoughts that are running through your head as you look at that problem? Say it's my problem, and we can always diagnose other people's problems. So JoJo has this problem. You can put my name on your problem and say, this is JoJo's problem. Man, if I was JoJo, this is what I would do. Allow all those thoughts to come. Write them down. Then the next step to that is to rationally challenge the negative thoughts. So look at every thought you wrote down and ask yourself whether this is a reasonable thought to have about this. Take out all the negatives. So it's 3 things. We're going to look at the negative thoughts, the rational thoughts, and the positive thoughts. Now that I know my problem, and it's JoJo's problem, I've listed out how she can, if I was her, all the thoughts after you done judged and talked about, list all of that out. And then the next step is to rationally challenge take out all the negative. Challenge the negative thoughts. And look at all the thoughts that you wrote down and ask yourself whether that was a reasonable expectation or thought to have about that situation. Pick either one. And then the last step is to use rational positive thoughts and affirmations to counteract your negative thoughts. Are there any opportunities that you can offer to me in that moment? If you took out all the negative and inserted a positive, what would you offer me? So if I'm emerging out of this, right, what are you moving out of my way? Where am I becoming visible? Where am I rising up out of? What am I coming into view of? Y'all with me? So if this is your invitation to emerge this morning, and emerge means move out of, away from something so that you can come into view and become visible to yourself. To yourself. This exercise ain't for you to do to fix anybody else. It's for you to do for yourself. Right? So first, we're going to sit and think about the problem. Write all the thoughts out. You can even give me the problem. You can say that JoJo keeps doing this, this, and this. Then write out everything you feel about how I'm handling that problem. Because essentially what you want to do is be on the outside looking in. You're stepping outside of your problem, right? You're stepping outside of your problem to say, this is this. Write it all down. Now, the next step is to rationally challenge all the negative that you put there. Is this a reasonable expectation to have? Can I reasonably expect this of myself, of JoJo, of the situation? Is that thought reasonable? Look at every thought that you wrote down. And don't be stingy in the writing of the thoughts. Write them all down. Now, this is where we talked about the word association, because the last one is to, now, if I have a negative thought, substitute it with a positive. You can't hold a negative thought and a positive thought at the same time. Whichever thought is the greatest is the one that's going to win. So if you are a naturally negative person, right, then that naturally negative thing is always going to be there if you allow it. Can't have a good thought and a bad thought at the same time. Whichever one is the greatest is going to win. So if I'm substituting a negative thought for a positive thought, but I believe more in this negative, the positive doesn't stand a chance. That's why when you say you want to change, or you see people say, I really want to do this and I really want to change, but it doesn't seem to stick, it is because the stronger vibration, the stronger thought is overpowering the other. So if I have the negative and the positive, I really want to believe this positive, but my reality say this negative is true, and you start to believe the negative, it overtakes the positive, and no change comes about. You will never lose weight. You'll never release weight. Watch your words. You'll never release weight. You will never start new relationships. You'll never have different relationships. You'll never have a different career. You will never have anything different, because the negative overpowers the positive, the emerging you. The old you is swallowing the emerging you. So if the emerging me is trying to come out of this, got to move out of the way, right? Away from. And remember, we talked on Monday, I'm evolving past trauma. I'm evolving past that thing. So when the last step is taking the negative and the positive and substituting it out, allowing that positive thought to stand. 7 seconds. So for 7 seconds, you want to say, I want you to believe that thought with all your heart for 7 whole seconds. I don't care if you got to do old school, counting on your fingers. Hold that thought with all your heart for 7 seconds. Tell me how you feel after that. And then if you can hold it for 7, you want to add another 7 tomorrow. Add 14 seconds on there. Can't hold 2 at the same time. Because if you hold 2 at the same time, we're going to keep repeating this step, this transformational change step. We're going to keep repeating it. We're never going to evolve or emerge from that trauma, that thing that we're looking at, that stress, that issue. We're never going to move past it because we're still in it. Y'all with me? Y'all got y'all some tea? So on this great morning, in the circle of me, we're going deeper. We're going a little bit deeper, because we've been at this 4 years. November the 1st makes 4 years we've been doing this. And the goal is that as I grow, you should be growing. That's my intent. As I learn and evolve and emerge, I want you to win. It doesn't necessarily have to be with me. Just as long as you win, friend. That's the thing. So on this great morning, emerge is the word of the day. Look it up. If you don't have an old school dictionary, you need a paper. You need go to the Dollar Tree. They have them. Go to your local Goodwill. They got dictionaries for days. Look up the word emerge. That's your quote of the day. Emerge. It means to come into view, become visible. So this is your invitation to come into view and be visible of yourself. I'm becoming visible of who I am, where I'm going, what I'm hoping to aspire. And as I'm working on the circle of me, I'm emerging. I'm moving away from the trauma of this thing. So if you did your circle yesterday, Pick one thing. It doesn't even have to be a 0. Pick one. If you just want to start with a positive, pick one of those. And then in your change, I want you to think about that problem, remove yourself out of it, and look from the outside in, and write down all the thoughts to that problem. It can be my problem. And say, if I was JoJo, this is how I would do this. Write in all your judgments you have of me, all your frustrations, all your anger, write them out. And then I want you to rationally challenge every negative thought that you just wrote down. And ask, is that a reasonable thought to have? That's right. No eyes in the back. You're not going that way. So once I've asked, is this reasonable? I've taken out the negative. The third is to substitute a positive for a negative. Take out one, because the definition of emerge is move out of or away from. So I need to move something out of my circle so that I can continue to emerge. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a little chilly, Margaret, to be safe out there. So on this great day, I hope this has helped somebody this here morning. Now, I've made the mugs, and the bags available for from Sister Rise that I have left. So if you would like a bag or a mug, those are the links that you can buy it. If you would like this workbook available, let me know. Okay. Now, one thing I am thinking about doing is doing 2 Sister Rise retreats. So there's going to be 2 levels, and then we're going to close up the show. It's going to be 2 levels. There's going to be the Sister Rise for the sister that's just beginning on the journey, who may not be ready for this. Good morning. You want to come say good morning?
I just want to make sure you're still here.
And then there will be the Sister Rise that's on a whole different level. Good morning, Joshua. That is ready for this and then some. Because this was just the beginning. This was like a dip your toe in it introduction to what we're about to do. No worries. I'm just glad you're here, friend. So there'll be 2 Sister Rise retreats. They say good morning, Rosie. There will be one that is for the sister. Listen, and then here is, and this is what made me think about this. At the end of this workbook, I wrote a note to the people. I wrote a note to y'all. It is my hope that you found a reason to rise during our time together. Our collective energy of sacred healing sister is a force that cannot yet be comprehended. Words have yet to be formed to describe the force that we are. As you rise, remember to leave a sign, a clue for the sister who's behind you. Hold the hand of the sister beside you and send good vibes to the sister ahead of you. Yours on this rise journey. So I looked at my own words. And if I am ahead of my sister to help her, and I'm leaving clues behind her, and we know the lesson I learned on the water in Puerto Rico, I won't retell that story. So if I've done that, then I need to understand that I have sisters on different levels, right? Here and here. It doesn't make them any different. Doesn't make one better than the other. It simply means I need to make sure that the sister that is here, she has the clues and the tools that she needs to help her get here. So there will be 2 Sister Rise next year. And if I could pull it off, I do want to do a smaller one this year. I might. Never know, never know, never know. I felt that movement. Tammy said good morning. A Sister Rise for the sisters that are just beginning the journey. They're not ready for the in-depth work. Not saying they can't do it, but in their circle of me, they're just beginning to look at their circle. And the Sister Rise that we just had, it was an invitation to emerge deeper, brighter than we were before. So I think that's what we're going to do. There will definitely, like the Sister Rise that we just had, this past 2 weeks, there will definitely be an application process for that. I want to make sure that if you are there, this is the work that you need to be doing. Because I don't want to give somebody information who's not ready to receive it, and it doesn't help. My hope and my wish is that I help and not hurt. So on this great day, hope you have the most amazing day ever. The thought and the quote of the day is your invitation to emerge. The definition of emerge is to move out of or away from something, to come into view and to become visible. Okay? And I gave the instructions on how to do that. So on this great day, please make sure you share the show, because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. Are you laughing at me? Because I did that.
No, my mind. I had a joke.
Oh, okay. Listen, go back and watch yesterday's show on the wheel so that you can pick something out of the wheel, and go back and write down your 3 steps for today so that you can begin to emerge. So on this great day, hope you have the most amazing day ever. And I'll see you guys here bright and early tomorrow morning. No, this is Be Peaceful, period. Rosie is giggling and throwing me off. That's why. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys here bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.